Yeah. So the thing was, or is, um, after a lifetime of really being directly responsible for making other people very rich and very famous, and I made a lot of money out of doing that. But now that I'm a little older, I see that it probably would have been a smarter idea. I mean, I really didn't, and still don't want to be famous. I just want to be, I think, respected as a musician. Finally, Um, but that fame has a certain monetary value. I mean, you could be in a restaurant in Indiana and somebody go, "You're so and so," and some of the people that I know are very, very famous. I've had the good fortune of in LA working with people who are household names, and I know them as Trent and you know Ted and Bill and Bob. I mean, whatever. But that shit's nothing. I mean, in LA, everybody's a producer, everybody's a star, and I was impressed when I first went there, but you get used to that. But geez, what was my thought train there? Um, More than anything, I just want to do some really, really good work. And the whole upshot of this deal is I've been shooting a documentary about it, and what I would uh, like to do, I'm going to drop that to 24p, put it on DVD, and submit it to the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences, uh, and see if I can get some play there. And if I do a nice job, it's coming along nicely. Um, Hopefully at least get a little something going on there. I've never, after all these years, I'm bringing all of my skills and things like that together. And um, geez, what else? Um, yeah, there's been I've had some really horrible and long-lasting illnesses that have held me back too, and I've also had severe bouts with depression and prescription drug addiction, and those are things I don't. I sort of had a psychic change. This all began on April 15th, 2012. Something changed in me, and it's reflected in every way. And I, I'm not quite. Well, that'll come into play. But yeah, I mean, the idea is to, or at least I'll try to explain it more effectively at some point. But the idea of this thing, what I'd like the movie to be, and what it ends up in the end, who knows? And it sounds like really big ideas, but I mean, YouTube is usually so harsh, and on my other sites, all that people could do was, you know, uh, and I think it's that they weren't getting enough exposure for one thing, and also they just weren't ready. The work wasn't there. Like out of 100 videos, I recently took a producer. I had one of my other sites. Maybe uh, out of 100, there were like seven that were of a level of professionalism that you would expect, and want to see something. But yeah, so we'll see. I mean, but the response to this latest site and the work that I've been doing, out of 10,000 plus people in the first month, and that's to be expanded, and will be, and is as we speak being expanded, um, marketed professionally. Um, Out of 10,000, like 3,000 people wrote me personal letters that were everything from funniest shit I've ever seen, laugh my ass off, love it, keep doing what you're doing, to heartfelt, I cried watching this and that one. And pretty much everything I do, I think, I aim for it. I don't always hit it, nobody does. That's the thing. I'm not afraid to sort of say, hey, check this out anymore. And I'm pretty sure when something sucks right away, and when it's up to a level, and still sometimes I'll post stuff that's chancy. But yeah, it sort of aims to. I think people like to be sad and they like to be happy both, and um, but the letters coming up on 500 thumbs up, 10,000 views, and my other stuff, and even the stats I've looked up on YouTube, that's exceptional. Out of 10,000 people, almost 600 have subscribed. According to the numbers, that's really good. And one of the aspects is too, I'm doing it under a pseudonym, and you know, I have a background in experimental psychology and computer science, and I'll get into that, and electronic engineering and music, and degrees in several of those. But it's hard to make something like this without sounding like a complete, douchebag. But I think one of the things that I happened onto with YouTube was that I have known for a while is that um, by putting a pseudonym on it and still doing good, I'd like to just say doing good work, but at times really kicking ass, um, immediately people see the pseudonym and they say, well, this isn't about this guy jacking his ego off in my fucking face, which you get a lot of on YouTube. And it's always a put off to me. And in the music industry, when I was in there, that kind of thing, people want to see a certain humility. So I think that's kind of built in. It's obvious this guy's not after anything. And in fact, I'm not linking this to any of the sites that are being blown up at the moment. And, we'll see. I mean, how it all goes. The way I'd like the movie to end in the end, and shows me going through all of these turmoils completely alone with no support. My family hasn't even seen one of my videos. They could give a shit less, and that's cool, because that's one thing I've learned is everybody's in their own headspace. But I would like it to sort of play out like, here's a guy who was basically given up for lost, supposedly, extremely ill, had a long-term illness, uh, just all the hardships I've been through. Has basically almost nothing left except some nice gear that was a miracle I saved, and kind of take you through this, and then the aspect of people responding and so on, and how that's affected me, and then I mean, it would be great if it were like, and the son of a bitch wins the Academy Award, but I'm realistic, that's not going to happen. But I'd like to make a neat little film, and that people would enjoy. I was in the record industry long enough to know that, miracles don't happen that much, and I'm cool with that, it's difficult even with a small level of notoriety to do anything. But yeah, I mean, it would be neat, sort of a feel-good little documentary type situation where, the guy at the end, I did it, I fucking succeeded. I think people like that kind of, on the internet, that people have done nothing but root for me. I'm blown away. I'll every time that I'm in so much pain, I feel like I can't go on anymore. I'll be sitting here editing something at 5 in the morning going, you know what, I used to make $250 every hour I did this. I had several rooms operating with other editors, and I'm doing this shit for myself for free. What's the fucking point? And I'll get a letter almost every night, every 2 or 3 days, definitely. Somebody will send me a heartfelt email that says, you know what, I went to your site, I see what you're doing, I understand what you're doing, this is really something cool, don't stop, you've got to keep doing this, keep it up, and that really has re-energized. I was blown away that people were so open and so supportive, because I can send them to my sister or my brother, not a fucking peep, not a thumbs up, not a comment, because I think the same was in the record industry. Nowadays, you sort of have to not only tell people, hey, I'm pretty good, I'm all right, and we'll say I'm not, awesome or great. I can be at moments. But I think you have to sort of not only hand someone a plate of food nowadays, or a bag of money, but you kind of have to open it and wave it under their nose, because there's so much content. You have to sort of not only do great work to get noticed on YouTube, because if you do shitty work, they will definitely tell you about that, and I've done a lot of shitty work on YouTube. But you not only have to lead the horse to water, you have to almost drink it for him. This requires a lot of vision, and I could see clearly from the start, and especially when people began to respond in such a big way, I could see from the start that, well, this is cool. And it doesn't have anything to do with me at all. Really, it's that I'm good at picking songs, and it's about what's become clear is it's about the songs that people love, and I get to sort of put my slant on them and be a part of the things that we've all loved. So, coming up on 10:33. Bye.